bad is this? Hey, you guys want to go for a raid?
Holdfast! Nations at War. Wow, what a game. Set in the wonderful glory days of 19th century Europe when rape and pillage was the norm. Holdfast Nations at War is an online multiplayer first and third person shooter focusing on a combination of teamwork and individual skill. Take part in historic clashes on land and at sea waged by the most powerful nations during the Great Napoleonic era. Charge into battle with over 150 players per server. I've had so much fun playing this absolute gem, I had to do a little video on it. It's a great game you can just turn on and jump straight into. There's no rank system, no microtransactions, and best of all, nobody takes it too serious. So, each game starts by picking a nation, then a class, and that's you, good to go. There are 7 different classes, each with a different unit you can choose to be, such as command, rank and file, support, artillery and so on. And what Holdfast is great at is people actually play their classes, whether it's a flute player, a flag bearer, an artillery officer or an engineer. You know every game someone's going to pick even the most obscure class and play their role. So here is an example of how it all works so beautifully. Here we are just spawned off. An officer and a flag bearer take charge of us and start marching us off to the front line to the sound of Queen's We Are the Champions. With enemy rockets whizzing over our heads towards our spawn point where our rockets and artillery are housed, firing right back at them, it creates a beautiful atmosphere, a symphony of death and destruction as if composed by Death himself. When we arrived at the front line it was terrible. We soon got pinned behind a mound of dirt. The first to go was our flag bearer, so no more Queen to make matters worse. Luckily the young drummer boy wasn't far behind to give us the musical motivation we so badly needed. Trapped and taking more and more casualties, what we longed for was another officer to take charge. A leader of man, someone with courage, passion, humility to give us direction in this time of need. And with heavy metal blaring from his mic, he came. He came just in time. With every shot fired you have the sickening feeling that it's going to take you at least 10 seconds to fully reload, while sweat is dripping off your thumb hovering over the switch to melee button just in case they storm over the hill. Every man's rifle is billowing out a blanket of smoke to obscure our visibility, but not the sounds of the blood-curdling screams. And then it was called, the order we'd all been waiting for. So over the hill we went. I managed to get one shot off, injuring an enemy, to be suddenly struck down by a cavalier. Making my way back to my feet, I remembered it takes so long to reload, I'd better run back to cover, only to find somehow an explosive barrel had been ignited, sealing the fate of the rest of this wave. So it turns out that we are not the champions. And the whole time that was happening, these two heroes were a few hundred meters back from the close combat, raining down a hail of rockets for our protection, each time firing one off, carefully checking where they landed with their telescope to readjust for the next barrage, careful not to injure their teammates. And 100 meters in front of the Rocketeers was another 2-man team, employing the same tactics, only this time with a cannon. 8 out of 10 effort for these men. That is what is so great with this game. Every server I've played on, everyone has been a specific role, making it feel you're a small cog in a big machine. I mean, who wants to be a bagpiper or a flag bearer? But every game someone is. Someone is always manning the cannons and rockets, and carrying or pushing them around the battlefield to keep up with the momentum of the fight. There is always a drummer boy laying down the beats as you march to your death. They don't have to, but they do, and it adds to the atmosphere massively. Any other game, everyone would be riflemen and just run about, shooting, dying, respawn, and the pattern will continue. But this game is special. Everyone plays as a team, and it works. For that reason, I'm giving this game a very special Cubicle 8 out of 10, and I can hand on heart recommend it to anyone. I hope you get the chance to play this game, because you will enjoy it.